Hello and welcome back. This is another video where I analyze the results of my Facebook and Instagram campaigns on one of my songs, and that song is called Move On. And you can see the chart here. You can see what's happened with the streams. It's only been out for about 10 days or so, and it was a complete screw up of a release. I mean, I didn't even submit it to editorial review. I just released it without thinking of a date, and it came out on a weird day, like a Tuesday or something. I was extremely lucky. You can see here, even though it was released on the Tuesday, I was extremely lucky to get a bit of release radar algorithmic push around the Friday. Subsequently, I've had more. So I've made a few mistakes with this release, but the thing is, I'm a little bit instinctive, and I just thought really want to release the song. And I have a big release coming out in 2 weeks. It's got 5 songs in it, all good. So what I want to show you is, even though this song here hasn't performed as well as my previous song in my previous video, which I'll link to up here, it isn't doing too badly. And I wanted to explain to you something that I learned, which is really important for me and could help you. And that is the difference I've seen in the previous campaign and in this campaign between conversion campaigns and traffic campaigns. This song here started as a conversion campaign and it started getting expensive. So I moved it to a traffic campaign. So if you have a look at Facebook. And this, by the way, this is the reason I put my head at the top and not at the bottom like I usually do. So that way you can see the totals here, because I think in the previous videos you could just not see totals. From the 2 campaigns, I have spent £330 in 10 days, which is actually quite a bit more than my previous, but it's not terrible. And this campaign will probably end in a few days. You can see here that we started with conversion campaign and then we moved on to traffic campaign. Now, if we have a look at the way this went, we started pretty badly, really, with a cost per result of 95 cents. But I persevered and plugged my £50 a day in, went down to 80, went down to 56, went to 50, with no changes. For a conversion campaign, you would think not great, but this is tier 1. So we're talking about countries like UK, US, Germany, Japan. And I'm only targeting tier 1 countries. In the past, I would target any country like Brazil, Mexico, whatever. But the cost the money you get for a tier 1 country is about 4 times what you would get for Mexico or for Brazil, and even more for India, right? So for me, it's not important really to get the streams. It's important to get the algorithmic support and to make more money per stream. I'll explain that a little bit later because that's quite an important factor here in this video. So you see how the story went, and I think by this day here, the actual cost per conversion went up quite a bit, almost doubled from the previous day. And I just couldn't work out why. You know, only 38 streams for £50, for £20. By the way, I did reduce my budget to £20. So for 38 results for $20, I thought, I'm fed up now. I'm just going to try a traffic campaign. So, and also the other thing I wanted to say was, when I did move from £50 to £20 a day, the cost per result did go down quite a lot, with that day being kind of an anomaly. And this is something I find that's typically true in all my conversion campaigns, is that when I dramatically reduce the cost of the campaign, the cost per result goes down a lot. I don't know why, but it just does. Maybe there's a lot of information there for conversions and it's being a bit pickier because it's got less money to use. Don't know, but it has gone down. So what's really funny is, on this day where I spent £20, I got 72 conversions. But on these days where I spent 50, I was getting 62 and 86, which is pretty, similar in terms of result, isn't it? So it's weird, but that's how conversion campaigns do work. It's very unpredictable. But the results, regardless of these sort of smallish numbers, the end result was pretty high saves and a few streams, right? So, and that's all you need. To hit release radar, you just need streams and you need saves. And that's what was happening with the conversion campaign, regardless of the results. Now, when we moved on to the traffic campaign, I started at £20 a day and the results were pretty good, but I even noticed that the traffic campaign was slowly creeping up. And that does make sense, because the traffic campaign is not optimized like a conversion campaign. By the time I got to this point here, I reduced the cost to £10 a day. And this is where we're at the moment. The last 3 days, it's been £10 a day. Now, overall, in terms of streams, the conversion campaign and the traffic campaign give you very similar amount of streams. That's the truth. There's not one advantage over the other for streams. But in terms of saves, it makes a big difference. And I'm going to show you why. So if we go to my spreadsheet, So if we have a look at the saves here, let's just have a look at a chart. So obviously initially with the conversion campaign, we have a lot of saves at the beginning because we're spending more money. At this point here where we switch to a traffic campaign, the saves go down a lot. I mean, the last 2 days, there were 10 each. There were 10 saves each, which isn't good. What's going on there? And if we have a look at Spotify for Artists, we look at saves, you can just see the trend. The trend is downwards for saves, even though I'm still paying for campaigns. Now, I think the difference is, and I noticed this on my previous campaign, traffic versus conversion. You're going to get more saves on a conversion campaign. And the reason for that is traffic campaigns aren't really optimized. So they're a touch more random than a conversion campaign. So with a conversion campaign, Facebook is just really looking for your fans, right? It's optimizing a bit better. So therefore, even though both traffic and conversion campaigns are using the same landing page, it is therefore more likely on a conversion campaign that the people that are listening to your song will save your song because of Facebook's intelligence, basically. So that's one thing that I have learned, and that's really the reason why I made this video, is to explain to you what's happened with me, and it could be something that will help you, right? So saves are very important. The more saves you have per listener, the better, right? And I think you're more likely to get things like Discover Weekly, like Release Radar. That is the key, right? So if we go back to my spreadsheet again, consistently we're getting the streams. We're getting more streams now because of the Release Radar algorithm. It's only 10 days in. I'm expecting in the next 2 weeks or more that we'll start getting Discover Weekly. The other thing is I've noticed that there has been an increase in the amount of playlist ads, but I don't think that's anything to do with the traffic campaign. I think it's to do with the fact that there are just more listeners. Glean from that whatever you want, but that's how I see things going at the moment with my campaigns. And once again, I hope you guys learned something from this too. See you later. Bye.